In light of UFC 312 and the whole MMA fan base being kind of 50-50 on Sean Strickland and who he really is, if he is the go-to death guy or not, I am here to double down on every single point I made in my last video because Eric Nicksick just did an interview with Ariel Helwani yesterday where he touched on basically every point that I made in my video, and I completely understand it. If you don't want to listen to me, I get it. Not a fighter, just a guy with gym experience. But do I think I know what I'm talking about? Yes. If you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. But I do think you should listen to the man's own coach. Sean Strickland's world-class coach, one of the best coaches in the world, head of Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. Let's see what he had to say about this. Before we get into the video, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe for me. The numbers are going up. I really appreciate it. Let's get into it.
Whether that was a staph infection. A, what could you tell us about the arm? And B, do you think that affected him in any way?
It certainly doesn't help, but yeah, he had staph a couple weeks prior to us leaving. He was on antibiotics, but no, I mean, he looked great leading up to the last week and a half of training. Traveled out there, his cardio felt fine, everything felt fine. So, of course, getting staph that at any point doesn't help the situation. It's not ideal, but that's, to me, not the reason why he felt flat.
Point number one, right there. Guys, is staph ideal? Fuck no. But staph is not always this death sentence where if you go into a fight with staph, you're going to lose your cardio shot. Can it do that? Yes, but it all depends when you got the staph and how bad the staph was. His own coach. Not ideal, but that was not the reason that he fell flat in his performance. So everyone out there giving him the excuse of it was the staph infection, that's what it was, that's why he didn't feel great in the fight and he couldn't do as much volume as usual. That is not the reason. It's not the reason, guys.
So obviously in the aftermath, there's been a lot of criticism thrown his way, in large part because he's such a boisterous and kind of outspoken, outlandish personality, but he also, not just when talking about regular stuff, if you want to call it regular stuff, politics and all this stuff, he says things like he's going to fight to the death, and obviously that's not really what we saw on Saturday. Do you think that the criticism is warranted? Do you think that it has been fair?
Yeah, of course, I do. I do. I mean, we have to be real. It just was a very underwhelming performance in an opportunity to fight for a title. There's people in this sport that never even realize that potential to ever even be an opportunity to fight for a championship. That should be enough to get you motivated, to get you off the couch. So, it just to me was we didn't perform. So that's all. It's on all of us. It's on me as a coaching staff. It's on Sean, and I think he needs to evaluate what he wants to do in the sport. If it's just to make money, then that's great. Let us know. I want to coach world champions. So my motivations are different. So I think that just to kind of show up and do that and not really back it up, just to me was just kind of uninspiring.
Eric Nicksick just being brutally honest right there. Ariel asks him, obviously, we did not see the guy that is willing to fight to the death. That really wasn't the case. Do you think the criticism is warranted? He says, yeah, of course the criticism is warranted. He even is questioning what is Sean doing it for. Is he fighting for money at this point, which is fine, or is he fighting to be the best in the world? Your own coach is questioning why you're even fighting. When's the last time we've heard a coach talk like this about their fighter? You gotta be, guys, you have to open your eyes on this one. How many times, and this is not me, my whole point about this is not to say Sean's not great or he's not elite. The whole point is just to say the character that he paints as this going to the death, going to war for you guys, that's not really what he does. And that's fine. But when you don't win, the criticism is going to come even more. And it's just, how long is the gimmick going to last? Similar to Kobe Covington. When you're not winning, at least, the gimmick really wears thin. We don't believe you anymore, and we don't listen to you, and we don't buy into what you're selling.
Hear your frustration building. They kept going back to you in the corner, and you're being brutally honest. You're telling him it's too predictable. You got to go. You got to get a finish. Every time it was building up. But as you're going back to the corner for those 5 minutes, and you're watching this, what's going on inside? What are you thinking?
Just he's kind of checked out. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, you know, you're grasping at straws at that point. You're just trying to get him to do something, and like, you know, like my dad used to always say in football, is like, you got to get something to get the band playing, right? Get the crowd and get motivated, get the momentum on your side again, you know? So I'm asking for anything. You know, the jab and the teep aren't going to win the fight. You know, it's like if you have a predictable offense and you run this slow paced offense in football and you get down by 30, you don't have the ability to come back and win those games, right? Like you just don't have the ability to come back and win those types of games. So you have to take risks. You have to make something creative happen, you know, and just jabbing and teeping your way to a comeback win wasn't there. So it's like, dude, find the same side head kick, throw some knees up the middle, so throw something different that's not predictable to what Dricus has seen for the last 9 rounds, you know. So we have to mix it up.
Again, his own coach. The jab and teep is not gonna win you the fucking fight, Sean. Throw something else. Mix it up. Throw an elbow, throw a knee, throw a head kick. His own coach, you know, pleading that with him. Again, this is not to destroy how great Sean is. Sean is great. The whole point is, first, he's not the guy that is going to the death. If anything, that's Dricus. Dricus is non-fucking stop. He is not going to stop in there unless you put him out cold. That's what we've seen from him so far. Sean, guys, name the fights where Sean has looked like he is willing to fucking go to that place Izzy went in the 5th round against Kelvin Gastelum. What performance was that? The first Dricus fight, I guess you could argue, but even then. And this is such a just dumb conversation, because it's like, I don't want these guys to go to the death. I don't want anyone to die. But if that's the narrative you're going to constantly put out there and say these wild fucking things, if you don't back it up, criticism is deserved. And it's okay. You're a professional athlete. And especially when your own coach is presenting the same arguments and questioning the same things. And you guys can keep watching the interview. He pretty much touches on the same things throughout the interview. Ariel asks him more and more different questions. But he already touched on all of the points that I made in my video. And last but not least, guys, saying he couldn't perform because he broke his nose, I get that for the 4th and 5th round. There was 3 rounds before that where we saw the same thing. The same thing happened. So the nose is not an excuse either. For the 4th and the 5th, I get it, but not for earlier in the fight. But I rest my case, guys. I am a Sean Strickland fan. I love watching him fight. I hope they either do Strickland versus Whitaker or Strickland versus Izzy 2. We'll see what happens. Let me know what side of the fence you guys fall on. Is Sean right in this case? Does he deserve the criticism he's getting? Does he not deserve the criticism he's getting? Feel free to share your opinions below. I welcome everything. Criticizing me, agreeing with me, I don't care. I welcome it all. Please let me know what you think. That's all I got for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe for me, and I will see you in the next video.